I think we're here. I think we are good to go. Let's see if this is working right now. Get this stream going here. Talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, as we got a lot of stuff going on. There we are. All right, we should be live. Let me know in the comments section if you guys can hear me. If we should be good to go, let me know in the comments section. I'm here. Can you hear me? I need a thumbs up in the chat. That means we are good to go. Let me know whenever you guys can hear me, which should be really, really good. Let's see. Let me know. Hello? I need someone to say in the comments that you can hear me. The way we can get going. Can you hear me? Come on, guys. Is anyone in the comment saying that we can hear okay? All right. That we can go ahead and jump in right now. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Eagles Report. I'm your host, Thomas Mott. We're doing a quick live Q&A here, a live stream, as I wanted to jump on here because a lot of stuff has been happening over the past couple of days and weeks regarding our Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, here's the deal. Yannick Ngakoue is obviously the main topic of tonight's video because he reportedly is going to be traded soon, and we were thinking he was going to be traded today, and yet apparently, and this is the update I want to have for you guys, the update is that Ngakoue might not be traded. So here's the deal. Apparently, Mike Garfolio from the NFL Network said, quote, nothing going on with a trade for Yannick Ngakoue with the Eagles, the Packers, or any other team. Apparently, Yannick just likes Reggie White and post his photo on Instagram as he did with Lawrence Taylor a while back. So that's the latest update here on Ngakoue, although I would not be surprised if he actually is looking for a trade and if he actually is trying to go ahead and join the Philadelphia Eagles, because NFL insider Jason Lockenforth said just a couple of hours before Mike Garfolio that essentially he is trying to be traded and he does want to come be a Philadelphia Eagle. So let's go up on the assumption that he does want to be a Philadelphia Eagle. What would a trade look like to go ahead and get Ngakoue in Philadelphia or to Philadelphia? Well, it's going to cost a lot. So the reported asking price is at least a first-round pick and maybe some additional picks as well. So like a 2020 first-round draft pick, so number 21 overall, and then something like a fourth, maybe a fifth, maybe a sixth. It would take multiple draft picks to go ahead and do the deal. This is not going to be like a Darius Slay trade where you give up a fifth and a third and you just kind of, all right, get him and sign him and you're good. This is going to cost a lot more because Ngakoue is one of the best pass rushers, one of the best young pass rushers in the entire National Football League. So the question is going to be, are you guys willing to give up a first-round draft pick? Are you willing to give up number 21 overall to go ahead and get Ngakoue? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Would you be willing to give up the number 21 overall pick for Ngakoue? Let me know in the comment section down below. Someone just asked about next year's first. It's very unlikely that the Jaguars would go ahead and trade someone away for a future first-round draft pick, aka a 2021 first-round draft pick. I think it'd be this first-round draft or nothing, as of course the Jaguars have traded away Nick Foles. They've acquired more picks. The Jaguars are doing a total rebuild right now, and so they want to build from this draft, not build into 2021 draft. So I believe that they would have to give up number 21 overall to go ahead and do the deal. Now Ngakoue, again, is one of the best pass rushers, one of the best young pass rushers in the National Football League. He's only 24 years old. He's barely been injured throughout his entire career, but is it worth adding another pass rusher to the Eagles instead of getting, let's say, a wide receiver? Here's the deal. It's looking like Philadelphia is not going to go ahead and get a wide receiver in free agency. Now, Emmanuel Sanders is still out there, although reportedly the 49ers and Cowboys are interested in Sanders right now. Robbie Anderson's supposed to be re-signing with the Jets, although that has not happened yet. So it looks like all of your options, besides like a Brashad Perryman out of Tampa Bay, are going to be off the table right now. So I would not be surprised if Philadelphia is not going to end up with a wide receiver in free agency. So that means to get better in terms of wide receivers, you would have to go ahead and draft somebody. If you give away number 21 overall, then your chances of getting one of the top draft picks comes down a lot. You have to go ahead and get someone in the second round at 53 overall, which, would Chase Claypool be there? Would Denzel Mims be there? I think that's a little too late to go ahead and hope to see them become an Eagle. So the problem then becomes, if you get rid of Ngakoue, would you want to go ahead and give up that number 21 overall pick? Again, let me know in the comment section down below. Kevin Stackhouse says, nah, we need a wide receiver way more. Yeah, here's the deal on this. Ngakoue is great. If I would give up a second-round draft pick right now for Yannick Ngakoue, and maybe, just maybe, we're able to kind of package a guy like Alshon Jeffrey in this trade to go ahead and get rid of Alshon Jeffrey's salary and a draft and kind of lighten the blow of trying to go ahead and trade for such a good pass rusher. But again, it's very, very unlikely that they would want to take on that sort of money and a sort of a player who, for all intents and purposes, is a little bit washed up as wide receivers go. So maybe you could include a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, and if that's the case, then do the deal. I want to keep number 21. And then, listen, I want to keep number 21 because I think we need to get a really good wide receiver. Not just a Chase Claypool or not just a Jalen Reagor. We need to get one of the top wide receivers in this class. The Eagles are not horrible when it comes to rushing the passer. Are they great? They were kind of up and down last year. Now, they get Fletcher Cox, obviously. He's going to be alongside Javon Hargrave. I love that move. Malik Jackson comes back, which is highly underrated of a move for Philadelphia. You get Malik Jackson back. He's going to be great on the inside. And obviously, still Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett. I think they're going to be okay. But it's not like, in my opinion, that the Eagles have to get a pass rusher. So I think they have to get a wide receiver. Now, Deshaun Jackson's going to be healthy next year. You assume that Greg Ward's going to be good to go. Maybe Alshon stays. Who knows? Is that a good enough wide receiver core to go ahead and win some games in the NFC East? No, I don't think so. I think you got to go ahead and get a young star wide receiver. You got to draft somebody at number 1 overall, whether that's Justin Jefferson, whether that's Henry Ruggs, whether that's Denzel Mims if you want to reach for him a little bit. I'm fine with that as well. I just don't see a point in giving away number 21 overall for Yannick Ngakoue. Now, if the Eagles end up doing it, then I will learn to love it because he's one, like I said, one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League. He's great. But I, for one, would not want to go ahead and do that trade. I'm curious what you guys would think in the comment section down below. I'm going to go back and read some of these right now. Remember the super chat function as well if you want to get one of these comments to pop right up on my screen. Someone says, we need our first round pick for Ruggs. Grant Delpit, we need him. We need Brandon Cooks. No, we need our picks for wide receivers. Hell no, we need a wide receiver with the first. No. So everyone else seems to be in total agreement on here. Jay White says, I'm keeping Ruggs or Chenault before I get Yannick. Let's see. I just pray we don't sign a running back. Talk about unneeded. Yeah, Jay, we're talking about running backs here in just a little bit. Jay says, I want Robbie Anderson like bad. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on right now in terms of people disagreeing with the whole Yannick Ngakoue, and I think we're all on the same page here. Would he be a great Eagle? Yeah. I mean, is pass rusher very important? Yes. But do the Eagles need to give away what's going to be a historically great wide receiver class in this year's draft, give away their chance at dipping into that just for another good pass rusher whenever you've just invested a lot of money into the interior defensive line? No, I would disagree on that one. So again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys on this one. We're going to move on to some other rumors here as well in just a little bit. I want to hear some read some more comments here from you guys. Yes, are we moving Ertz for Jones? Please say no. I want to move up and maybe to 10 or 13, grab one of the premier receivers. A problem right now the Eagles have in getting one of the premier receivers is the Jets, the Raiders, and then now the 49ers are in the top 15. So if you want to get one of the premier receivers, you got to hope that one of them, the Lambs, the Ruggs, the Judys, fall past San Francisco at 13. San Francisco at 13 now becomes a very legitimate case to go ahead and take a wide receiver because they have not re-signed Emmanuel Sanders, and if they don't re-sign Emmanuel Sanders, then they probably need a wide receiver. So I think you're looking more at Justin Jefferson, looking more at a Laviska Shenault, looking more at a T. Higgins at number 21 being available, even though I wouldn't take T. Higgins. I would take Justin Jefferson over that lot right there. But I think if you want CeeDee Lamb, if you want a Jerry Jeudy, you got to go up to 10 where Cleveland currently sits. That way you leapfrog the Jets at 11, you leapfrog the Raiders at 12, and you leapfrog the San Francisco 49ers at 13 as well. Rod says 2020 first round pick for Yannick. You know, that's the whole problem. I don't think that the Jaguars would take a 2021 first. Now, I would do that in a heartbeat. 100% I would trade away next year's first round draft pick, but not this year's first round draft pick because we need it so bad. Before we move on, final thought on this, and then I promise we'll move on. You got to make sure you don't waste Carson Wentz's prime by not giving him weapons. There are a lot of great quarterbacks that have had elite receivers, and they go to Super Bowls with them. At Matt Ryan in Atlanta, obviously Tom Brady was hooked up with Randy Moss for just a very short amount of time there in New England. Even Devontae Adams in Green Bay is not as good as you would say as like Julio Jones, but still you give a great target to a great quarterback, and they tend to do very, very well with them. So I like Yannick. If they traded for him right now, I'd be excited about Yannick, but is he the best player that the Eagles need to get right now over drafting a wide receiver? I would go ahead and argue no. Let me put to bed this. People are saying Brandon Cooks. Do you guys really want Brandon Cooks? He's basically Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson's coming back. He's going to be okay. Brandon Cooks, again, gets injured a lot, is basically Deshaun Jackson. I'm not sold on going ahead and trading for Brandon Cooks. I'd much rather just spend number 21 on Justin Jefferson, who's going to have a better overall career than Brandon Cooks, in my opinion. That's my take right there on Brandon Cooks. Also, we need to put this to bed. We've got to put this to bed. This whole idea of Julio Jones being traded. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that, oh my gosh, this Julio Jones rumor, is this true? No, it's not true. There's nothing behind the idea that the Atlanta Falcons are actually currently trying to trade Julio Jones. I live in Atlanta. I know these things. Trust me, they are not trading for Julio Jones, nor are the Falcons trying to go ahead and get rid of Julio Jones. And also, if the Eagles were to even sniff Julio Jones, you realize it would take multiple first-round draft picks, right? Like, you do realize it would take multiple first-round draft picks to go ahead and acquire. The Eagles are not going to do that. We're not that desperate for a wide receiver. Why would you trade for Julio Jones, who's aging, by the way? He is 32 years old. He's not the young Julio Jones that he once was. Still a great player, but not one of the... He's not 29 years old. Why would you trade away multiple first-round draft picks, your future, instead of just going ahead and taking a really good receiver at number 21 overall? Denzel Mims out of Baylor is the exact same size, if not 5 pounds heavier than Julio Jones, and had identical combine numbers to Julio. Let me say that again. Identical. Everything. The 40 was identical. The 6-cone, the 3-cone shuttle was identical. His broad jump, his high jump, it was all the same. So I'm not saying he's going to become Julio Jones, but this whole idea of, oh, well, you know, we need to get Julio Jones, we trade away our future, just doesn't make any sense. The Eagles will not be trading for Julio Jones. It's a fun rumor that people here on other channels want to go ahead and you know, get views on. It's not going to happen. Even if there was a legitimate sourcing behind this saying, Jason La Canfora has reported, even if they're sniffing it out, they're not going to do it. Philadelphia's not that dumb. Howie Roseman's not that dumb. There's a reason why Howie Roseman has not spent a ton of money in free agency. He's made some great moves in Hargraves and Slay, but he's not going to go ahead and just mortgage away the future for an aging superstar wide receiver. And plus, Atlanta is not going to do that. And finally, we're not going to trade Zach Ertz to go ahead and do that either. That would be the dumbest move ever, despite how well Dallas Goedert played last year. Get Julio Jones out of your mind right now. It makes no sense. Okay, let me read some more comments here, and then we'll keep going. Let's see. I want to move up maybe 10, 13, grab one of the premier receivers, says Michael Shaw. Yeah, I agree. We just talked about that. Yes, I would give up a first-round pick for him. That must be talking about Yannick. Would love Mims in Philly. I would too. I covered Denzel Mims while I was at Baylor. I've seen him up in person. I've watched his practices. He's as good as advertised. If Denzel Mims becomes a Philadelphia Eagle, I'll be absolutely stoked. I think the Eagles are missing a lot of opportunities. No, we'll talk about that in a second. Someone said no thanks, Jason Babin too for Yannick. That's not true at all. Let's see, what about Eric Reed? Potentially Eric Reed, although he's a little bit older. Todd Gurley could replace Jordan Howard, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Let's see, which top wide receiver actually an option via trade? What about Gurley? Hell no, Gurley. We need Carson Wentz. Okay, moving on here. Odell went from a 1 first-round pick and a player. Yeah, but the problem is Julio Jones better than Odell Beckham Jr. Trust me, Julio Jones will cost more than Odell Beckham Jr. There's no way in hell that we could get Julio Jones for the same price or cheaper than Odell Beckham Jr. You gotta remember, Julio Jones is an established superstar wide receiver. Odell Beckham gets injured a lot, and Julio's kind of injured, but not as much. And Julio Jones doesn't run his mouth like Odell Beckham Jr. is. The great part about Julio Jones is that he is not a me-first wide receiver. He's an elite receiver who's a team player, who's the best receiver in the National Football League besides DeAndre Hopkins, who the Eagles should have traded for, but for whatever reason they did not. I wouldn't even think about it. Carlos says Sanders or Robbie Anderson, but for me it's a no on Clowney or Yannick. I would take Clowney over Yannick because you don't have to trade for Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney's, you just pay him money. You don't have to give away draft picks to go ahead and get him. I don't want Emmanuel Sanders or Robbie Anderson. I think we stay at 21. We take the best receiver available. I want a young, cheap wide receiver that's going to be good for many, many years that we don't have to pay a ton of money to. That's what I want to do right now in Philadelphia. Other questions says, hell no to Gurley. We need Ruggs. How about linebacker options? LOL, the chat wants to know. Well, your linebacker options in free agency are basically gone. The majority of them have been signed, and we've talked about it in the NFL draft. Isaiah Simmons is going to be a top 10 pick out of Clemson. And then you have Kenneth Murray, who's probably going to be a top 15, top 20 pick. So maybe Murray will be there at number 21 overall. But do you want to spend that on a linebacker instead of a wide receiver? That one has got to be up to you in terms of what happens with that one. Moving on. There was a question asked regarding, are the Philadelphia Eagles missing out on opportunities? They didn't get Byron Jones. They didn't get Chris Harris Jr. They didn't get James Bradbury. Obviously, they haven't done anything with wide receivers. They have not made a ton of moves this free agency, despite the fact they had nearly $50 million in free cap space. I want to stress this to everybody out there who's freaking out that we are not going to go ahead and that we've not been busy in free agency. Don't worry about it. most teams who go buck wild in free agency don't play well. Remember the Vince Young year in Philadelphia when we got all these great players and we Cullen Jenkins out of Green Bay, and then of course we got I'm trying to remember who else was taken that year. Remember that year? Ton of free agents. The Eagles weren't very good. Good football teams make limited moves in free agency. Now the Eagles did a great trade for Darius Slay. That was a need. They needed Darius Slay. Even Yannick would be a good move overall, but getting Hargrave and getting Slay and stopping there, besides maybe like Rashad Perryman for a cheap one-year prove-it deal out of Tampa Bay, the wide receiver, that to me is enough. You have 8 draft picks this year. You can go ahead and really bolster the holes that you have left. The deal is that the Eagles don't have a lot of holes. Like, the Eagles do not have a lot of holes overall on their team. Now, do they need a linebacker? Yes. Do they need a safety? Well, if you move Malcolm Jenkins back, or if you move Jalen Mills back there, then no, you don't need a safety. Do they need an offensive lineman? Well, no, we expect Andre Dillard to be the starting left tackle. They don't need a running back. They just need a wide receiver and a linebacker right now, and you can get both of those in the draft later on and hope that they stick. You got to remember, Jordan Matthews was a third-round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles out of Texas. Jordan Hicks out of Texas, the linebacker. Despite injuries, played very, very well, and then the Cardinals gave him a massive deal in the offseason the Eagles did not want to match. So there's a lot of things to go ahead and consider whenever we're talking about drafting players versus signing players. I want to stress to you guys, do not worry about the idea the Eagles are missing out on players. They might have just gotten the best cornerback in the NFC now because they have traded for Darius Slay. Like, they might have the best cornerback overall. They miss out on Byron Jones, yes, and I wanted Byron Jones, but Slay has 12 more career interceptions than Byron Jones. Like, Byron Jones has 2 career interceptions. Slay's got, 14, 16, whatever it is. He has way more. He's more of a ball hawk. He's more the Asante Samuel press man covers that we loved having in the in the early 2010s time, that balled out. I mean, he was one of the best Eagle corners of my lifetime, and yet we had really good ones in terms of Sheldon Brown and Lito Shepherd as well. All right, question time. Before we move on to Todd Gurley, we're going to be alive for another 15 minutes. Give me some questions right now. Should we forget about getting a top wide receiver this season? No, because you can get one in the NFL draft. Let's see. Would you want the Eagles to re-sign Aguilar on a one-year team-friendly prove-it deal? That's Adam Schefter asked that. Okay. No, I'm tired of Nelson Aguilar. I don't want Nelson Aguilar. Mike Thomas is the best receiver. Don't sleep on that dude. Yeah, I mean, he is. He's really, really good, but there are a bunch of great receivers. You kind of just got to pick whatever one you guys think is the best. Okay, before we keep answering questions, if you are watching this video, there are 88 of you watching right now and only 19 likes. Everybody go hit the like button right now. That way we can bump this up on YouTube and get more views. Okay, 88 of you. I want to see these likes start going up, all right? I'm going to wait to do comments until we start seeing likes. I'm drink some water out of my cup. Come on. There's one. That needs to get to at least 50 likes right now before we keep going on, because we got 84 viewers and only 20 likes. Come on, bump up the likes. Come on, I'm going to get a drink. Go ahead. Bump them up. I'm going to keep reading your questions. I'll answer them here. Let's see. Come on, bump up those likes. It's just right above the screen. It's right below the screen. Click the like button. We'll get this one up to hopefully 50 or 60 likes. There we go. There you guys go. I appreciate that. That helps out the channel a bunch. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click the red subscribe button, because we're approaching 6,000 subs here on the Eagles Report, and I greatly appreciate you guys, subscribing and hanging out. Okay, more questions because you guys are liking the video. I appreciate that. What about Grant Delpit if we trade up? Andrew, we're not going to have to trade up. Number 21 overall would be enough to go ahead and take Grant Delpit. The question is, do you want to take him over a wide receiver? Do you think Rasul should be playing safety instead of Mills? No, I think that they have decided, and I'm not an expert on this. I think they decided that Jalen Mills is going to be their safety to fill in for Malcolm Jenkins, or they would not have really let Malcolm Jenkins go. So I think Rasul Douglas is going to be playing cornerback, whether that's starting opposite of Darius Slay or being a backup. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Okay, Mills popped off at LSU. Grant Delpit or Isaiah Simmons if we trade up. I would trade up for Isaiah Simmons over Grant Delpit. What about Logan Ryan? I would like Logan Ryan, but don't be surprised if Tampa Bay makes a move at Logan Ryan, because he was a former teammate of Tom Brady, and of course Brady's going to Tampa, and so, it makes more sense right there. I think we need to get Clay Matthews. No, Clay Matthews is ancient. Do not sign Clay Matthews. He's too old. We packaged Barnett and a pick. Would you support that for Yannick? Yes, I would, as long as we're not giving away a first-round draft pick. Ideally, you would keep Barnett along with Yannick. That way, because Brandon Graham's not going to be there forever. But yes, I would do that trade. If it was like a third and Barnett for Yannick, I would definitely do that. I feel like I'm taking an online class on how to be an NFL GM. Good. That's how it should be. I'm trying to be your NFL I'm trying to be your GM expert here. I'm gonna move my camera down a little bit so we can keep going. Let's see. Would Logan Ryan be a good pickup? Yes, I just said he would be a great pickup, but I don't know if we want to go ahead and get 2 free agent cornerbacks. Maybe one might just be good enough. What about Clay Matthews? Got cut today by the Rams. No, and Clay Matthews is an outside linebacker in a pass-rushing 3-4. We are 4-3, meaning we need a true outside linebacker who can cover as well. That's what your outside linebackers need to do, just like Michael Kendricks. Clay Matthews is a 3-4, hand on the ground pass rusher who plays outside linebacker like Von Miller plays outside linebacker, even though Miller, of course, rushes the passer. So no. Ertz for Yannick? No, not at all. 0% chance I would do that. That is a dumb question right there. Will McLeod play strong safety? No, McLeod will keep playing the free safety. Chris Harris Jr. alongside Slay. Chris Harris Jr. is just signed with the Chargers, so no, we can't do that. What will McLeod's role be? He will stay as the free safety. Where are we at on Alshon Jeffrey? Roy, I don't know. They haven't said anything about Alshon Jeffrey. Maybe we package him and send him down to the Jaguars for Yannick. I'd be fine with that. All right, I mean, you get rid of all his money with no more dead cap hit. That'd be great, but again, the odds of that happening are very, very unlikely. Okay, let's move on to Todd Gurley here really quickly, and then we'll go ahead and take some more questions. So Gurley was cut by the LA Rams today, and a lot of people are saying, oh my goodness, why not add him to our backfield? No. You do not want Todd Gurley. You want to know why you don't want Todd Gurley? Because the Rams didn't want Todd Gurley. And you want to know why that matters? Because the Rams are going to eat like $20 million in dead cap money just to cut him. Like, they literally could have kept him on his team, kept him on the team, and you just paid him his salary, and then he would have played his limited snaps or whatever it is, and they decided to cut him instead, literally cut him instead of just letting him play on their team. So that tells you that he has crazy arthritis in his knee, as we all know, right? Crazy arthritis in his knee, and I don't think he's going to be playing much longer in the National Football League. Now, Atlanta's reportedly interested in him, although that'd be a dumb move for the Falcons. There are really good running backs in this draft. If you think the Eagles really need a running back, just go ahead and take J.K. Dobbins in the second round, or Jonathan Taylor in the second round, or DeAndre Swift in the second round. Do not, even if you would take a little bit of money, I would not do this move because, again, if the Rams thought he could play, they would not have cut him for nothing. A $20 million dead cap hit is what we're going to go ahead, or is what the Rams are paying right now. The Rams are in cap hell because of the moves that they've done, and the biggest one that they should not have done is Todd Gurley. If he would do it for $500, then sure, but anything over $1 million is just a waste of money to Todd Gurley. I would take Byron Scott right now over Todd Gurley because Byron Scott does not have arthritis in his knee, and Byron Scott has actually proven over the past couple of years to actually been able to stay healthy. Remember the Super Bowl? Whenever they needed Todd Gurley in that close loss here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to the Patriots, they couldn't even run Todd Gurley in the second half because his knee was so messed up. You do not want Todd Gurley at all. Someone says Melvin Gordon. Yeah, I would take I'd take Melvin Gordon over Todd Gurley, and apparently the Eagles kicked the tires on trading for Melvin Gordon as early as last year. And apparently his contract that he wants right now is not that great. So maybe I'd take Melvin Gordon over Todd Gurley 100%. Would you want to re-sign Jordan Howard? Roy, we can't because Jordan Howard just signed with the Dolphins, gave him a 2-year, $10 million a year. Yeah, so we can't do that. Miles Sanders next up. Y'all don't panic. Yeah, Miles Sanders is the starting running back. And also you have Boston Scott. I think they're going to be just fine. We run too much 12 personnel to get rid of Zach. You can get that out of your heads. Yes, I agree with that one. Howard signed with the Dolphins. Yes, Howard is gone. Yeah, hey, listen, we don't need to be... I meant Boston Scott, not Byron Scott. Byron Scott was the old Lakers head coach. Remember that? Yeah, see, I mixed them up. We've been confined to our houses for too long right now. Thumbs up if you guys are off of work. Let me know if you guys are just chilling at home, no work to do this week. Maybe you don't want to be chilling at home. Maybe you want to be working. Thumbs up if you guys are off of work right now. I want to know what you guys are thinking on that one. Shady, bring him home. No, LaShawn McCoy's too old. We do not want LaShawn McCoy. He is way too old. Do you truly believe in Boston Scott? I believe in Boston Scott because he's healthy, and I believe in Boston Scott because he has a chip on his shoulder, and he played really well down the stretch. Without Boston Scott in the Redskins game or the Giants game, whatever it was, when he had three touchdowns, the Eagles might not have been in the postseason against the Seahawks last year. Remember that. Kenneth Murray at 21. Yes, I would go ahead and take Kenneth Murray for sure. We need another running back. I think we need another running back. I think a 1-2 punch of Scott and Mills is going to be just fine, although maybe one more. I just don't want Todd Gurley. Don't bring Shady home, no offense, unless, like, we hire him as an assistant to Deuce. Yeah, although, again, the odds of him actually doing that are very, very low. Okay, more questions. Give me questions right now. We'll close it up here on questions. Jay says he's working, so he gave it a thumbs down. I meant thumbs up the video, not like thumbs up. I can see that he did the thumbs up here live right now. So, thumbs up if you're working. No, sorry, thumbs up if you're not working, if you've been stuck in your house all day and you're bored. That's why we're doing this live Q&A right now. We're trying to hang out. Not about the Eagles, but are you in college? No, I graduated from Baylor University in 2018. I live and work in Atlanta, Georgia. Fun fact. So, no, I'm a diehard Eagles fan living and working in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Baylor University, so no, I'm 23 years old. I'm young. I'm a young man, although I feel like I'm getting a little bit older. Your thoughts on trading up for Simmons? Eagles need that middle coverage, and he can cover wideouts. Yeah, the problem, again, with Isaiah Simmons is you got to trade up into the top 7. Like, Isaiah Simmons might be the 5th pick in the NFL draft. Like, the Dolphins, if they move up to take a quarterback, or, like, the odds of Isaiah Simmons being there anytime after 7 is very, very rare. So you got to go way, way higher, and I just don't see that happening. Should Greg Ward start in the slot? Yes, he probably will be starting in the slot. Dobbins is super solid. Would you like him with our 2nd pick? I would rather get more of a need because, again, running back's not a huge need, but Dobbins is great, and a 1-2 punch of Dobbins and Miles Sanders would be stupid good. That'd be really good. What's the price range if the Eagles were to sign Robbie Anderson? So Robbie Anderson wants about $14 to $15 million a year, and that's why the Eagles have not signed him yet, because you can get, again, a wide receiver at number 21, and you'll pay him like $7 to $8 million a year instead of 15. So half the price and a lot younger. What do you think about Nate Sudfeld? I love Nate Sudfeld. Nate Sudfeld, to me, is the best backup quarterback the Eagles can have. He is perfect. Let's see, moving on. Did you talk about Yannick? I just got here. Yes, Alexis, I talked about Yannick at the very beginning. This will be replayed on the channel after it's done. You'll see it in your subscriber box, so stay tuned. This will all be redone, and we'll talk about Yannick. Eagles can't continue to take on big contracts. What if we trade JJ or take a Whiteside for anything? We won't get anything in return. We really can't make that trade. Who's going to be the linebackers? Great question. What do you think we can get in return for Alshon Jeffrey? Like a 4th or 5th round draft pick? I don't even know. Let's see. I love this chat. Yeah, I know. I do too. Joe Flacco. No, we do not want Joe Flacco either. Why would you want Joe Flacco? Nate Sudfeld, we just signed him to a 1-year extension. We're keeping Nate Sudfeld here. What do you think if the Eagles will end up in the 1st round, and who, not who you want or who you think they should get? I think they'll take a wide receiver. I think it'll be Justin Jefferson or probably Laviska Shenault. If I had to put money on it right now, it'd be one of those two. Okay, couple more questions here. I'll answer just a few more. If you want to make sure your question gets answered, you can use the super chat feature down below there. It's up to you guys. You guys can do whatever you want in terms of asking a question. Let's see. Come on, a couple more questions here. I'll take 5 more questions. We'll let this kind of go. Denzel Mims better than Robbie Anderson? Yeah, I would agree with that one for sure. 5 more questions. Get your questions in, and then I'm going to relax for the evening. This will be re-looped, though. So, again, make sure you hang around. That way, when this goes live, it's just got to like kind of render on YouTube, and then it will go live. A couple more questions here in the chat, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off. Let me see what you guys think. Come on. Give me a couple of questions here. Boy, the chat just like died. What do we got? Any more? If you're just joining us, Yannick would be great. He's going to cost a 1st-round draft pick. I think it's too much. I don't know if I would trade a 1st-round draft pick for Yannick, and I definitely do not want Todd Gurley, the other topic of this video. Too old, too much arthritis in the knee. There's a reason that the Rams went ahead and cut him, even though they're going to take a ton of dead cap money, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Let's see, would Wentz have a better year next year? Yes, Wentz is going to have a better year next year, although we had a really good year this year. We need one more backup like Fitzpatrick. I think Sudfeld's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Were you upset about grabbing JJ over Metcalf like I was? Yes, I would. Who do you personally want with our 1st pick? I personally want CeeDee Lamb, but we're not going to get CeeDee Lamb at number 21. I want Lamb. Isaiah Simmons would be my first 2 choices there if I could have anybody in the 1st round, besides like Chase Young. And then probably Justin Jefferson's a realistic choice right there at 21. I really think Justin Jefferson's going to end up being the pick. What are the odds of the Browns giving the pick so the Eagles can get Ruggs? Probably pretty decent, although, again, you got to give up a lot to move up, so I wouldn't count it out. Cut Elijah Holyfield and sign who? I don't even know if we need to cut Elijah Holyfield. Our D-line will be top 3 or better this year. It's really going to help the secondary. Yes, 100%. Have you ever been to the vet? No, I was too young to go to the vet. I have been to Lincoln Financial Field multiple times, though. Okay, here we go. Couple of Ooh, a couple of super chats here. There you go. There's a super chat feature. Andrew with a super chat. Thanks. Nice way to finish. Pick a linebacker or corner. Yes, 100%. I would take, okay, let me rephrase that. I would take a linebacker if it was Isaiah Simmons or Kenneth Murray for sure. I would not take a cornerback in the first round. I don't think they're that great this year. I think the cornerbacks are severely overrated, and that's why Philadelphia went ahead and traded for Darius Slay, because they looked at the cornerbacks that they could have gotten and they said, nah, nope, not at all. We don't want any of these guys. We'll stick with we'll go ahead and stick with trading for Darius Slay, who's better than any cornerback in this draft. James Cardinal asks, Shenault at 21. No way. I'm a fan of Mims, TBH. I'm saying Shenault at 21. No way I'm a fan of Mims. Shenault, though, is insanely good run after the catch. He's proven to have been good the past couple of years. He does have the core muscle injury, so I get your point there. I'm a fan of Mims, too, but you can move up in the second round to, something at 40-something and probably get Mims in the second round. Even though they're projecting Mims to be a first-round wide receiver, I think he's going to go in the second, so maybe you could get him in the second. Trade Ertz and Sidney Jones to Raiders for that number 12 overall pick? No. Why would you want to trade Zach Ertz? Seriously, why would you want to trade Zach Ertz? It makes no sense. Ertz and Alshon for Julio Jones? No. Alshon is not going to... we're not trading for Julio Jones. Let's just get that out of the mind right now. Alshon is not trading for Julio... We're not trading for Julio Jones. Okay, all right, any more super chats? You want to get a super chat in right now and get your question for sure answered? Go ahead and do a super chat. If not, then we're going to be signing off here really, really soon. James Jones is too old. Yes, he is way too old. I agree. CeeDee Lamb's the best wide receiver. Yes, I agree. CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver. Someone slapped Takeem for me. What did Takeem say? Yeah, trading Ertz. Takeem, we're not going to slap you, but you're wrong on that. So we have 8 picks now. Yes, we have 8 picks. We have 3 fourth round. We have a 1, a 2, a 3. We have 3 fourths. You know what? I'm trying to think about this. We have a first, a second. We have 3 fourths. That gets to 5. We have 1/3 gets us to 6. We have a 5th and a 6th to get us to 7 and 8. There you go. That's what it is. So I think Murray, our best wide receiver available, is going to be our first round draft pick. Yeah, that's probably right, James. I would agree on that one as well, 100%. All right. That's it. That's all the time that we have here on the Eagles Report. Wanted to jump in here for a little 30-minute chat. Hopefully we get you guys off of sitting at home and being bored like I am. So maybe we'll do some more of this a little bit later on. Again, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. We're going to re-loop this video. That way, if you missed the beginning, whenever we're talking about we are talking about Yannick Ngakoue and what the latest update is on that one, then go ahead and stay tuned for that video as well. All the time we have for today. For the Eagles Report, I'm Thomas Mott. I appreciate you guys. Stay safe. Signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.